We finally have official UN Peacekeeper units in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 created by the modder Jamie D. And today we're going to be putting every variant of these UN Peacekeepers up against millions and millions of zombies that completely surround their walled castle fortress. We are first off starting up with these UN peacekeeping forces going up with only 9 soldiers against 9 million zombies, just to see how they perform in battle and what kind of damage they can do against the zombie army. Then we're going to be increasing their numbers so that they can actually have a potential survival rate in these battles. So the zombies are charging on forward in the distance. They should be coming in from every side, and yes, it looks like this side is where they're going to be hitting first once they reach an entranceway point. Alright, here we go. First of the zombies coming on in. UN soldiers begin to react. Huge shout out to Jamie D for creating these absolutely incredible UN soldiers in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2. He did a great job. I am so excited about these guys. We finally don't have to just use SWAT team members as UN representatives. We have official peacekeepers on the battlefield. A number of them dying. Oh, I got glitched up the wall. A number of them dying very early on. This guy has some sort of explosive rifle, and there we go. UN falls and the zombies triumph. The UN soldiers only got 12 kills. So why don't we go ahead and really buff the UN line so that they might actually be able to hold the castle walls against the zombie army. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below. Now let's get into this thing. What's up, gamers? I'm here to tell you about Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is an amazing place where you can get some fire deals on all sorts of video games. Seriously, it's like 60 to 95% off, as you can see here. These are all of the Star Wars titles they have. They literally have every Star Wars title. You can also get XCOM here, Men of War Assault Squad 2. All of the games I play on the channel you can buy here for extremely cheap prices. If you use my affiliate link in the description, it helps me out a ton. So thank you guys for listening to this sponsorship, and thank you to Instant Gaming for continuing to sponsor the channel. Alright lads, just under 11 million zombies this time around, charging on forward, and we have ourselves, let's see, 120,000 UN Peacekeeper forces. They're the, basically riot troopers out here. We've still got those grenade launcher troopers, which I think will be pretty devastating. You know, standard UN peacekeepers with some pretty sweet looking weapons right there. I also gave them some flak guns just to give them a little bit of artillery punch, and I think it'll look kind of cool, especially the ones up top here firing away. I think that's, well, that's pretty dope, so I like that a lot. Now, most of the defense is on the exterior because not actually that many UN peacekeeping forces can fit on the interior of the fortress. So that really is going to be a last stand situation if they can hold the exterior here. We've got some sniper units out this way, firing away. We've also got some snipers inside of the fortress over there too. It's like almost a sand castle. This would look pretty cool for like an Army Men style video or something along those lines. The defense of the sand castle or something like that. Either way, we've got a wide variety of zombies coming on forward. We've got toxic hazmat zombies, we've got military zombies, we've got fast runner zombies, we've got burn zombies, deformed zombies, alien zombies. Pretty much every zombie unit that's currently in Ultimate Epic Battle Simulator 2 is going to be coming forward on this battlefield. And right now, they are staying pretty far away, but there are some potential breach points. Right here, zombies are getting awfully close, though no kills just yet. On the opposite side over this way, similar story, zombies getting a little bit close for comfort over here, and it seems to be wherever there are melee units is where the zombies are getting closer. Now, obviously, they can't keep them at a distance without guns. That makes it difficult, but the areas where there are weapons that are ranged, they're actually managing to keep them at bay a bit better. So it's gonna be interesting to see how these different corners of the battlefield progress, because if one side ends up getting completely flanked and overrun, then the other side is opened up to flanking as well, and then we just get complete and utter disaster. The first of the UN soldiers are starting to die on the battlefield. A total of 16 now have died, and 550,000 dead zombies. God dang, that is a lot of dead zombies. Over half a million dropped already. So that's very, very good to see for the UN soldiers here. They're clearly quite a good unit, actually, on the battlefield. Pretty powerful. How much health do these guys have? Let's see. All right, these riot troopers have 1250. That's a lot. God dang. That's the flak gun. That's not helpful. These guys have 1400. Oh, wow. Okay, these guys are pretty strong. These guys have 1,000 with their P90s over this way. How about the snipers? Snipers have 1,700. That's kind of a lot. These guys have 750, so they're a little bit weaker. How about the grenade launcher troops? 1,900. God dang! Okay, so yes, there are some pretty strong units for these UN soldiers, but even still, they are dying to the zombies slowly but surely. 286, now over 300. Yeah, they're rapidly starting to lose soldiers now. I bet this side of the battlefield in particular is going to be a bit of a disaster for the UN, because this is their spot with units that only have 750 health, a considerably weaker area than the rest of the UN troopers, and on top of that, these zombies are runner zombies, and they're rather quick, so it'll just be hard in general to defend this position. Almost 500 dead UN soldiers now, and 1 million dead zombies. So they are actually doing pretty decently. Why don't we go ahead and do our first time lapse of these guys up close. And there we go. This front... Wow. Holy cow. Okay. That happened kind of quickly. Must have been the military zombies. Yeah, they probably finally reached this area. In other areas, the military zombies are being kept very far away, but where the weakest point is over here, they kind of just wiped these guys. My goodness, that happened quickly. But the UN Peacekeepers have 3 million kills. That is absolutely insane, bro. God dang, they are making quick work of these guys. I mean, it does help that they are entirely surrounded, so the kills are going to come quicker because they're just going to be spamming in all directions. It's very hard to miss. At the same time, though, 3.2 million kills now is still fairly insane, bro. We do have only 106,000 peacekeepers left at this point, so they've lost 14,000 soldiers in total, which is not fantastic numbers, but it's not the worst. Those grenade launchers are finally firing out from atop the ramparts there, which actually looks very, very cool. Very nice. I'm not sure their blast radius. It seems to be fairly decent, maybe like 10 kills per shot or something like that. But the zombies clearly do have to be pretty close for them to actually fire, so that's definitely one of the drawbacks of that weapon. Over here, some of our, are those M4s, maybe? Let me know in the comments. Y'all know I'm not super astute with guns, but either way, these guys are starting to lose more and more soldiers as some of the deformed zombies get closer and closer, getting some good swings on these lads. Oh, and there's some spearman zombies in the mix. Zombies who use tool, like monkey, very nice. But overall, it seems like the UN is still doing very, very solidly well. We got orange hazmat zombies and burn zombies coming in this way and attacking these melee troopers. It's you know, they're starting to take more and more losses. However, they're still doing amazing. 3.56 million kills now for the UN troops. Why don't we watch a nice bird's eye view? God dang, these boys work quick. 5 million dead zombies now, and well, only 5.29 million remain. So over halfway through this battle at this point, these guys are going absolutely loco. They're doing everything they possibly can to destroy the zombie menace. Look at this massive wall of dead troopers all over the place. The Grenadiers firing away, although these zombies are actually still getting rather close, so they could be up against the wall fairly soon. Over this way, these guys are doing fantastically well, though. The snipers appear to be just absolutely devastating the zombie lines over there, and this way is also not doing super well. Interesting. All in all, though, Peacekeepers are doing amazing. They have 91,900 soldiers left. In total, they've lost 28,300, so losses are relatively high, but you know what? They're still in this thing. Why don't we go ahead and watch a little bit closer up here this time around? And remember, this is the first time I have ever used these UN forces. They just came out today. Again, shout out to Jamie D. But we're figuring out the balancing, you know? When you get a new unit, you got to figure out, okay, how strong is it? How do they do against zombies, which tend to be kind of the baseline of enemy strength, and go from there. So this is definitely a bit of an experimental battle, if you will, but still pretty awesome. So let's continue to watch and see if the UN can continue their success here, or will they die? Okay, zombies have made some strides forward. They're up against the walls over this way, eliminating the last of the UN soldiers that are holding those lines. But they're still not really able to cut across this way. I think it's because the snipers are over here, right? It seems like anywhere the snipers are, they're just super powerful and they are eliminating zombies like nobody's business. So that is definitely problematic for the zomboys. And of course, the grenade launcher unit's still doing quite well for themselves, although they're not nearly as powerful as the snipers. This line over here are also doing very well for the UN, and they've got some crazy body piles going over this way as the zombies begin to tower over them, which will make it harder to fight them because bullets are not able to travel through the body piles. They'll only able to get shots on the zombies as they crest over the hill, so they'll have less time to do damage to these guys as they come up and over. Right now, the UN peacekeeping forces have taken 44,000 deaths just about. So they have 76,000 remaining, but they've killed 6.7 million zombies at this point, leaving 3.67 million zombies remaining. I think the UN's gonna have this, but we just never know until it's Jover, baby. You don't know till it's over. And maybe the zombies can do this. I don't know, but let's watch this angle for a little bit and semi-bird's eye view. Alright, the battle continues, and we saw this circle of UN soldiers shrinking and shrinking as it went. They are taking some fairly heavy losses over here now, but there's only 1.87 million zombies remaining, so just a little under 2 million to go. That being said, the UN peacekeepers are at less than half of their total force remaining. They only have 56,000 soldiers left alive on the battlefield. They're getting squeezed pretty heavily now. None are, succumbing to the zombies over here. The zombie entrance is still solidly defended. So these guys are safe for now. And I think it's in big part due to the snipers over here, as well as these troopers over this way. And the boys on the wall are definitely doing some pretty good things for the defenders. They're definitely getting some very decent kills, which is great for them. But overall, it seems like the UN here is going to potentially win this thing. I don't want to say for sure yet, because things have changed in crazy ways in these battles in the past. But it is looking pretty solid right now. Why don't we watch this entranceway over here? Okay, so this is actually pretty interesting. They've cut through here. Now all that's left over this way are the P90s and the snipers. These snipers are very powerful, clearly. And these guys are actually getting into the interiors. They're not quite pushing all the way through yet, but they're definitely doing some serious damage to the halls of this fortress. And then on the other side, over this way, these guys are still standing very tall, doing much better, which is weird because on the opposite side the snipers are there, and I kind of thought they would be the goats of this, but clearly you know, they are doing great, but not enough to support their fellow man on the interior. Oh god, this is glitchy. Okay, we're good. We're good. Now there are about 500,000 zombies left, a little over, so 560,000 zombies remain, and 39,000 remaining UN soldiers. So UN soldiers have dropped considerably. They have lost 81,000 troops. Of course, they've killed 10 million zombies, which I will say is pretty fantastic, but things are getting a little bit worse. But only 500,000 zombies remaining out of 11 million. I think they can do this, but we won't know until this Bad Larry's over. Why don't we go ahead and watch this side defending from the interior now. I'm glad we get to see a little bit of interior combat with these grenade launchers now. Alright boys, no more zombies are coming through this way. There's a lot of spam fire going out here. It looks like no zombies are actually dying anymore, so I think there must be zombies glitched maybe in this body pile? Or something, yeah, because apparently there's 21,000 zombies remaining, but they're nowhere to be seen. So, the UN gets the victory, baby. Huge plays from the United Nations Peacekeeping Army. Huge shout out to Jamie D for making this incredible faction. I'm super excited about it. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you have not already, and comment down below if you'd like to see some more, and what scenarios would you like to see. Either way, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace! I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.